So really what I want to do now is create a variation on this. So there's a couple of ways you could do this. I'm going to go click a clip, shift click the next one, and I can go Command D, and that's going to duplicate them. So what I want to do is make a different chord pattern now. So now we have 4 clips and 3 in this scene, and I can trigger different scenes. So if I click the arrow up here, it's going to play everything, even if I've stopped them all. So to stop all the clips is this button, and you'll notice the green light went away. If I click this, we play that scene, and if I click the next one down, we play that scene. So what I want to do now is create a different sort of chord pattern. So I'm just going to record enable, which it already is, and I'm just going to practice a different chord pattern, then record that in. So I hit play and have a little muck around on my MIDI controller. Alright, that'll do. So I'm just going to record that in. Hit record up here. I've got my count in as usual, and off we go. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate this because I want to make another variation. So one way to duplicate a scene is just to select the scene on the right and go Command D, and I'm going to play that scene. Now what I want to do is overdub. I want to record a couple of bass notes into the clip. So I'm going to practice first and then record them in, and you'll see that happen in a moment. Okay, so that's what I'm going to play. Okay, just going to have a listen. I might bring the volume of this one down, or the velocity I should say, just a little bit. There we go. One more element, and then we'll look at doing a very basic arrangement, well, non-linear arrangement in this view, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So I'm going to create a new instrument. So there's a drum kit that I like called Ninja Drums, and that's here. I'm just going to drop that into a blank space in the session view, and it'll create a MIDI track ready to go. And I'm just going to add another drum pattern to this. So I'm going to duplicate the scene here. I'll draw this in again just to show you that. Duplicate the length there. I might just do a hi-hat pattern over the top of that. So, okay, so this is the hi-hat pattern I want. And I'm just going to use the repeat feature on the push. So I'm just holding down a key. It's playing every 16th notes. And I'm going to increase the swing so it's a little bit off grid. I'll show you how to do this in class, but I'm just using push to play those notes in. Hit record. Okay, a couple of these are a bit loud, so I'm just going to manually adjust the velocity of some of these accents. And I want an open hi-hat just at the end here, so I'm just going to... Let's try this one. And I can do that by just dragging this MIDI note up, and I don't want it as loud. I'm gonna just give that a bit more. I might try a different hi-hat there. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit of processing to the drums here, just to kind of warm them up a little bit. So a bit of saturation and a bit of compression. I'm not going to spend too long on that, but let's just do a little bit. So I'm going to go to Audio Effects, and I'm going to go for Saturation. So Saturator's down the bottom here. Drop that up here, and it'll appear after the instrument. Let's have, I'm going to bring the volume down a bit, solo that, just have a listen. Okay, and a bit of EQ. I just want to actually make that a little bit less bright. So I'm going to just chuck on an EQ8 and just have a play around with this high shelf. Okay, as I said, I'm not spending too long worrying about this. I'm just chucking a couple of bits and pieces on here to try and smooth it out a little bit. So this is before. It's a bit more tappy with these on. It's a bit chunkier and more rounded out. Let's have a listen to it with the other signals. Going to add a bit of that room sort of reverb that I've got on the other drum. Okay, so here's our musical idea. Now what I'm going to do is shift these down a little bit. And I'm just going to create a sort of intro. Okay, so what I want to do is just introduce things one at a time. So I'm going to bring, option click this one up here. So it starts off with just the keys. Oops, let's just do a stop all. Okay, so keyboards come in. Then we'll have this kind of drum pattern come in, and then we'll have the shaker. So actually I don't need these ones. So this is kind of the arrangement. You can kind of think of it vertically. So intro, building up elements, and then it changes chords, and then the drums come in and so on, and you could have a breakdown. So the way I think of the window here is, even though it's not linear, I sort of think of time or arrangement ideas as going vertically. So beginning at the top and end at the bottom. Let's play through this and just see how it sounds, and then we'll end the video there. stop this here. Okay, so there's a bit of an idea of how this all works, and we'll look at turning this into an arrangement in the Arrange window in another video.